To start, me and my mother-in-law have never gotten along. She hates my guts and can be oversensitive oftentimes. I tried not to give her the wrong impression about me, but we just don't like each other. Sunday, I was feeling sick. I'm a new mom BTW, and couldn't eat what she cooked for dinner, and she seemed to take it personal. She sent me a private message of what seemed to be her final straw with my behavior, and it stated the following: copy, paste. Oh yes, I know and feel your passive-aggressive vibe. You keep pretending to be sick so you won't have to eat what I cook? What? You think my cooking is disgusting? You think I'm unhygienic? When was the last time you actually looked at yourself in the mirror? Apologies, I forgot you're a new mom and can't be bothered to even get your hair brushed. You finally trapped our son and now want to use the baby as a pawn. I don't like the fact you're my grandchild's mother. I don't think I'll ever come to terms with it because you bore him. But I'll pretend. Pretend I don't know my son's been having chats with his ex every chance he gets. Be mean to his mommy. Me. And you'll see how far that gets you. Oh, and when I watch your shit-beast dog, it stays chained to a garage day and night until a half hour before you arrive. It stinks up my house, you know, same with your hair and clothes. My mind was blown and my gut reaction was to immediately go to my husband and show him what his mom sent, and he didn't take it well. He tried calling her but she didn't respond. It was 11 p.m. and he decided to drive to his parents' house and pick a fight with her about the text. According to my sister-in-law number 1 who witnessed it, he yelled at his mother and berated her and called her names, then disowned her, which shocked everyone in the house. My mother-in-law is diabetic, she fainted on the spot, and my husband didn't stop, he just walked out of there while his family were yelling at him. I got several calls and texts from them claiming I just caused irreparable damage in my husband's relationship with his mother, jeopardized her health because she was taken to the hospital, and worst of all, making my husband disown her over what? A dinner that I could have gotten a few bites of? A simple misunderstanding? They accused me of causing this shitshow and turning my husband on his own mother and disowning her like that. Sister-in-law number 3 berated me for sharing the text with my husband, saying I should have confronted my mother-in-law alone instead of escalating the situation. She said I'm responsible for whatever happens next and have to fix the problem I created. I feel awful overall and so guilty since she's at the hospital and the family are feeling tense. My husband is avoiding me. Ada? Throw away because he has my main account's password. Hi, so I've been seeing this guy Will 27M for months now. He's so sweet and funny and creative. Fun fact, he drives 2 cars that he fixed on his own. We don't live together but we do meet at my place every weekend. He called and asked what we will be doing on Friday, and I said I wanted to host a G&I since it was my turn. He asked what the heck was a G&I. I said a girls' night in, and he got quiet, then asked if I was being serious. I was confused as he started talking about how outdated and so 1950s those events are, and said that I should stop promoting and advocating for those events as they are so toxic and flat-out streak of misogyny. I was shocked by his long rant, but he said that was his honest opinion. I told him regardless I still plan to host the event after he tried talking me out of it and suggested we go out together. He threw a fit after he suggested bringing his guy friends to join us, and I refused since this is not how G&Is work. He called me a sexist and misogynistic for having a girls' night in and making it so obvious instead of being ashamed of myself. He said that my mentality will cause me issues in the future, especially if I behave like that in a professional work setting. Let me tell you, I was blown away by how he got so worked up like that over me just missing my girls and wanting to spend time with them. We argued some more and he hung up on me after I said I will not stop hosting or being part of G&Is no matter what he says about it. I tried to call and apologize for lashing out later, but he sent a text saying he was hurt by how I handled our small disagreement and needs time to process what he just found out about my personality. This hurt me, but my friendship and the bond I share with my girlfriends is huge, and I don't want to risk years of friendships by no longer being part of our bonding activities. Ada? For making this my hill to die on like he says. I met my fiancée online on a dating app. We have been together for 2 years now and got engaged recently. However, she keeps telling me that during the wedding she wants me to give a speech talking about how I met her while she was working at a coffee shop and I was so attracted to her that it was love at first sight, and I immediately asked her to be my girlfriend. She says that this makes her look better and will make her look good to her friends if I say that she was so beautiful that I immediately asked her out. To clarify, she is saying I have to say that I asked her to be my GF right at the counter without even having any sort of conversation with her first. The only problem is I feel very uncomfortable with this untrue version of events. I am happy to say she is beautiful and that I really love her personality and that we had a great connection, but I am uncomfortable with this portrayal of myself as some sort of creep who asked a complete stranger to be my girlfriend. There are other lies that she wants me to go along with too. For example, I inherited a house from my grandparents, but she is asking me to tell all her friends and family that I myself paid for and bought her the house because she is so special. After I said no, she has been saying that I care more about the opinions of other people than how she feels and that she is reconsidering if she wants to be with someone who isn't on her side. Do I have a point or does she? Frown. Just to be clear, my fiancé said that the reason she wants me to do the speech and tell people I bought her a house is so that her friends will envy her. She has already told her friends and family those things, but it's another thing to want me to actually talk about them and lie about these things. She knows that my friends and family know I inherited the house and that we met on a dating app, but she says I have to warn them not to say anything and pretend to believe me at the wedding. She gave me an ultimatum that we won't get married if I don't agree and hasn't talked to me for days. It looks like I'm not the asshole based on responses. How can I get her to see the light? My wife and I have 3 daughters, 19, 24, and 28. Our youngest, Jill, just started community college this year while our 2 oldest have moved away to start their careers. Jill still lives with my wife and I as she is attending college locally and this saves her money. This past weekend we were invited to my niece's and goddaughter wedding a couple hours away. The dress code was semi-formal, so men were expected to wear suits and women in dresses. As we were getting ready to leave, Jill was taking her sweet time getting ready and I was kind of nagging at her to get going. She had been out late the night before with friends and I'm sure she was feeling the effects of that. When she was finally ready to go, she was wearing some kind of black, spaghetti strap halter top thing with leggings. I told her that was not an appropriate outfit for her cousin's wedding and that she needs to change into something else. She told me she doesn't have anything else to wear and that I don't get to police what she's wearing. I told her that judging by the amount of dirty clothes on her floor and in her closet, she clearly has other options, she just didn't plan ahead enough to figure something out. I told her it was disrespectful to her cousin, the bride, to wear something too revealing and tacky to their wedding. Jill called me a jerk and said no one is going to care what she's wearing and if people focus on her clothes more than the bride, that's their problem, not hers. I told her in that case, how she is getting to the wedding is her problem, not mine. She asked what that meant and I told her that if that's what she wants to wear, she is going to have to find her own way to the wedding because I am not going to arrive with my daughter looking like she is about to hit a club at 2 a.m. instead of attend her cousin's wedding. My wife chimed in at this point and told us both to calm down. She told me I was being overbearing, but also told Jill that she did not agree with her choice of attire either and reminded her this is a semi-formal event. She told Jill she would help her find a different option that would be better suited for this. Jill scoffed at that and went to her room and closed the door. I went and knocked and told her she has 15 minutes to be ready or we are leaving without her. She yelled at me that I was being an asshole, so I went outside to wait and after 20 minutes I went inside and Jill was still in her room. I told my wife that I am leaving and she can either come with me now, or her and Jill can figure out their own plans. My wife asked what Jill is supposed to do and I said she can take an Uber for all I care at this point. My wife reluctantly left with me and I could tell she felt guilty about the whole thing. Jill ended up not coming to the wedding and both her and my wife blamed me for it. I don't think I was the asshole here though. Edit. Hi everyone. I am getting a lot of comments saying my husband is abusive and I do want to reach out for help from a governmental organization to see if they help women. But the thing is I feel really guilty because he told me he would not treat me this way if I didn't nag him about lights, water, and trash. So I feel at fault. I am posting here out of desperation because I have been having this discussion with my husband for months. I used to think I was reasonable, but his inability to understand makes me think I am insane. Please help me with your objective feedback. My husband and I live together in an apartment. I go to work every day at 7 a.m. and by the time I get home at 7 p.m. the lights are on in every room and the water is running in the kitchen and the bathroom sinks. According to him, they are on all day every day. I cannot work from home and we are wasting a lot of money. I have asked him if there is any reason he needs to turn them on all day, but he tells me that it is impossible to turn the lights and water off. When I told him it is not impossible because he can turn them off using his hands, he says, but you have hands and you choose not to work as a mechanic, so I also can choose not to turn it off. I tell him that it is different because it costs money and is bad to waste resources, but he insists it's the same thing because I can technically be a mechanic but choose not to do so, so why does he have to choose to turn off the lights? When I am at home I turn them off after him and it doesn't seem to cause him any discomfort to have them off, but he just refuses to turn them off himself. When I talk to him about it he says I am nagging him and that I should leave him alone. Is he right that I am wrong, and is his mechanic analogy accurate? By the way, we are a single-income household and I know we could be paying less for bills if he would stop leaving things on all day long. I'm F32, the breadwinner, and have a toddler and a 9-month-old baby. Their needs are never-ending and everything I buy is expensive. My husband, M37, is unemployed but uses part of my salary for his subscription, paid streaming services which cost about $80+ a month for Hulu, Premium, Netflix, HBO, Amazon, ESPN Plus and more. I keep finding myself coming up short with money. I kept neglecting blind hygiene products and have only one pair of shoes that look decent. I can't remember the last time I bought anything nice for myself and keep feeling guilty just thinking of going shopping for stuff that is necessary. I sat him down for a discussion and told him his subscriptions are taking money. I can't keep paying for them when I have other responsibilities. I asked him to choose one channel and he threw a fit, calling me ridiculous to think streaming services are the reason I'm always short on money, and blamed it on the expensive and unnecessary makeup he calls a fake up I keep wasting money on. I got angry and said he needed to respect that makeup is part of my personality and won't quit buying and wearing it. He said that I was trying to financially control him since I got offended when he pointed out that I waste money on makeup and explained that he cannot and will not be bought with money no matter how desperate he is. I said okay, then let me cancel all streaming services and keep one till he can pay for them once he finds a job, but he refused and said since he's the stop then those streaming services are right and not a privilege and I should keep paying for them without complaining since he's staying with our sons all day and it's taxing just like my job. Final straw was when he suggested I stop buying formula and go back to breastfeeding since that is unnecessary and expensive. I was floored and was seething. I lashed out at him asking him if he literally thought canceling formula is better than his precious subscriptions. Also I work, I have no time to breastfeed. He just said he doesn't know what it is anymore and that I was pushing him, but I told him he no longer has the choice and I'll just stop paying for all his channels. Subscriptions altogether, which had him reply that I was being unfair and unappreciative of his efforts. He stormed off after calling me controlling and kept cold-shouldering me. Ada? Edit. No, he left his previous job due to issues with his employer. He struggled with finding a job in his field and refused to work in other related fields, saying his dignity won't let him since he worked hard for his degree. My makeup gets replaced every few months. It normally costs $50+, but that's every few months, not every month. I stopped breastfeeding for health issues and now work, but he never stopped criticizing my decision to use formula, calling it waste of money when I could push past the pain and provide our son with real benefits. I still do the majority of work around the apartment.